Good morning, Rapid City. Post 22 Baseball is on the air for its final day of action of the 2018 Gopher Classic. Another doubleheader for Post 22, albeit a split one at that. They'll play now and once again at 1 o'clock local time to close out the pool stage of their stay in Minnesota. Thanks so much for joining us early this morning. It's just about 7 o'clock back home in Rapid City. So all of you early risers, thanks again. Mark Benetti alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and as always stream live on the internet on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 had some late inning, extra inning heroics last night to take an 11-8 win over the host in Burnsville High School in a game that was back and forth and down to the wire to say the least. Post 22 on a number of occasions had a big lead coming into the last couple of innings, but unfortunately couldn't close out. Burnsville extended the game in the bottom of the 8th after the Hardhats scored 3 runs on a 3-base error with 2 outs in the inning. But Burnsville on a drop third strike with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th kept the inning going and rallied to score 3 runs of their own to square things up at 8. We went to the top of the 9th and Cooper Bowman hit a 3-run blast that the Cobras could not answer. Post 22 starts off all the action for pool play today, and then again they'll resume their final matchup of pool play at 1 o'clock. So we'll have the first and third games on the slate out of 5 to be played today. Give you an update on the standings as we come into this final matchup. Post 22 this morning will take on the Regina Athletics, who are still looking for their first win, so they are last in the pool at 0-3. Post 22 at the top of the bracket right now with a 3-0 record. The Rochester Patriots, who they will play in the final matchup today, narrowly behind them at 2-1. Chanhassen Cavaliers and Stillwater are even at 2 wins and 2 losses on either side, and the host Burnsville Cobras are under 500 at 1-2 through 3 out of their 5 games. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the Regina A's still looking for their first win. They stand at 0-3. When you look at the grand scheme of things, this game doesn't necessarily have much of a bearing on Post 22's chances to advance to the next stage. If anything, it'll all hinge on the Rochester Patriots showdown. Because let's assume the Hardhats drop this affair. The winner of that matchup will finish 4-1 and would have the tiebreaker at that point. So, not really too much going on for Post 22 in this morning's showdown, although they'll still treat it as if their lives depends on it. So we'll still see some great competition out of Post 22. But if they drop this affair, it is not the end of their world for the chances to go to the bracket stage, or the knockout stage, I should say, of the Gopher Classic. Post 22 is the home team in this morning matchup against the Regina Athletics, so we'll go ahead and give you the lineup for Regina and the defensive alignment for Post 22. And bear with me because the Hardhats lineup is much different from earlier counterparts in this tournament. For Regina, leading off is number 9, Wiley Brisbourne, and he is out defensively at second base. Batting second is number 7, Peyton Friesen. He's out at shortstop. Batting third is number 77, Peyton Jerome, serving as the starting pitcher for the A's. And in the cleanup spot is number 3, Jordan Leibel. He's patrolling center field. Batting fifth is number 15, Matthew Turda, in the hot corner at third base. Batting sixth is number 2, Dryden Blouse, patrolling left field. Batting seventh is number 19, Riley Boberick. He's patrolling right field. Batting eighth is number 33, Walker Jerome, serving as the catcher. And rounding out the batting order in the ninth spot for Regina is number 6, Gavin Wuschke, and he is out at first base. For the first time this season, Jack Sorensen will get a start for Post 22. He'll take on the Regina Athletics this morning. Sorensen comes in for his 11th appearance of the season. 13 2/3 innings of work under his belt. He has a dead even 2-2 record on the season, and he's also 1-for-1 in save opportunities. He has 11 strikeouts to 16 walks on the year and an 8.71 ERA, along with 9 hit batsmen on the season. So Coach Torvey looking to get a quality start from Jack as he gets the nod in this morning's showdown. Post 22's defensive alignment has Sorensen and his right arm on the mound, paired up with Todd Stevens serving as the catcher 2 games in a row in pool play. At first base is Jace Caldwell. At second base is Ryan Bachman. At shortstop is Mason Messenger. And in the hot corner at third is Matt Hegre. Left to right in the outfield, Alex Weaver, Drew Messer, and Holden Jackson. Home plate umpire signals we are ready to go. Wiley Brisbourne steps into the right-handed batter's box. Righty on righty matchup to start off the morning showdown, and Sorensen's first pitch is a called strike, and we are underway a minute early at 7:59 local this morning. 0-1 the count here to Brisbourne to start off this ballgame. And Sorensen's 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed. And quickly he is in the driver's seat, 0-2 on the mound. No balls, 2 strikes to Brisbourne. Sorensen from the stretch, 0-2 pitch is behind him. And the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 now the count for Sorensen on the mound to Wiley Brisbourne, the second baseman for Regina. 1-2 pitch, and that misses low and away. And the count will even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 now the count. Sorensen battling the leadoff man. 2-2 to Brisbourne, swung on and missed, strike 3. There's K number 1 on the first batter face for Sorensen. 1 up, 1 down for the Athletics, and that'll bring up Peyton Friesen, the shortstop. Friesen steps in, a left-handed batter, against the righty in Sorensen, his first mismatch of the morning. Empty base path here for Friesen and 1 out in the scoreless top of the first. First pitch is swung on, and it's hit to the right side of the infield. Caldwell at first gets the throw over to Sorensen covering from the mound, and that'll be 2 down. Good on Sorensen to get on his horse over to first. It looked like a close play there. Stalwart defense for the Hardhats. A 3-1 ground out in the book. 2 up, 2 down now brings us to Sorensen's pitching counterpart, Peyton Jerome, who also steps in as a lefty. Back-to-back mismatches here for Sorensen on the mound. 2 outs and an empty base path for the Athletic starting pitcher. Scoreless top of the first. Game 4 out of 5 for the Hardhats in pool play. First pitch called strike out of the outside corner from Sorensen. A nice fastball, and it's 0-1. Sorensen looking to lock it down. 1-2-3 here at the start. Next pitch is swung on and missed on an outside fastball. 0-2. Messer, Hegre, and Caldwell slated to hit 1-2-3 if Sorensen can get this third out. No balls, 2 strikes. He is in the driver's seat. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed, strike 3. And that'll end the top half of the first in 1-2-3 fashion on a pair of Ks from Jack Sorensen. No runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base after a half a frame of baseball. We're still scoreless, and the Hardhats now come to bat. We'll take a quick step aside and come right back with the bottom of the first and the Hardhats order and Regina defensive alignment here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Post 22 now transitions from defense to offense, and they'll take their first swings of the morning against the Regina Athletics right-handed pitcher, Peyton Jerome. Here is how the Hardhats will stack up offensively against the A's this morning. Leading off for Post 22 is number 24, Drew Messer, and this morning he is patrolling center field. Batting second is number 21, Matt Hegre in the hot corner at third base. Batting third is number 30, Jace Caldwell out at first, and in the cleanup position for Post 22 is number 20, Holden Jackson, and he's patrolling right field. Batting fifth is number 18, Alex Weaver. He'll patrol left field once again. Batting sixth is number 17, Todd Stevens, serving as the backstopper and catcher. Batting seventh is number 11, Branson Keel, slotted in as the designated hitter this morning. Batting eighth is number 10, Ryan Bachman out at second base. And rounding out the batting order in the ninth spot for the Hardhats is number 12, Mason Messenger, out at shortstop. Jerome, the righty, set to take on the top 3 in the order here for the Hardhats in the bottom half of a scoreless first inning. Messer, Hegre, and Caldwell scheduled to hit in that order. Defensive alignment for the Athletics has Peyton Jerome and his right arm on the mound, paired up with the catcher Walker Jerome. At first is Gavin Wuschke. At second is Wiley Brisbourne. At shortstop is Peyton Friesen. And in the hot corner at third is Matthew Turda. Left to right in the outfield, Dryden Blouse, Jordan Leibel, and Riley Boberick. We are all set, ready to go now with the bottom half of the first inning. And Drew Messer will lead off. First pitch to Messer. Swung on, ball's hit to short. Stop is made on the play by Friesen, and his throw to first is in time. Just like that, it's one pitch, one up, one down for Post 22 on offense. And that'll bring us to Matt Hegre. Hegre stepping in, a right-handed batter for Post 22. And his first pitch is a called strike. It's 0-1. Hegre on the season batting .339, and his 0-1 pitch is pulled foul third base side, and he's behind 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Hegre with an empty base path and 1 out. Here in the bottom half of a scoreless first inning. No balls and 2 strikes the count. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 on a breaking ball in the outside corner. And Jerome quickly responding with 2 up, 2 down, and that's going to bring up Chase Caldwell, the first baseman. Caldwell on the season batting .403. Empty base path for him. And 2 outs in a scoreless bottom of the first. First pitch, a called strike. Breaking ball inside. 0-1. Jerome finding the zone early here. Might have a pitcher's duel right off the hop. 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball low. Caldwell watches it skip down. Ball and a strike now the count. 2 outs, no one on the base path for the hard hat first baseman. Holden Jackson, the right fielder, batting cleanup this morning in the on-deck circle, patiently waiting for a chance. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to left. Ball has some legs on it. It's got the distance. And it's out of here. And Chase Caldwell gets a 2-out solo home run in the bottom of the first, and Post 22 strikes first for a 4th game in a row in this tournament, and they have an early 1-0 lead. Caldwell's 5th home run of the season. Gets the Hardhats on the board on their first hit of the ball game. 2 down, empty base path. Hardhats up 1-0. Here comes Holden Jackson. Jackson himself also has a home run in this tournament, and he looks at ball 1 low and away. Here's the 1-0 to Jackson. Fastball called strike right at his knees. And it's 1-1. Ball and a strike now to the hard hat right fielder. Peyton Jerome trying to end this inning. Next pitch, a called strike on a breaking ball. Right at the belt of Jackson, it's 1-2. Game 4 out of 5 in pool play. And the first game of 5 to be played in the pool today. And the next pitch is low and away. It'll be 2-2 now to Jackson. Post 22 will be back in action later today at 1 o'clock local, so that'll be noon back in Rapid City. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jackson, and Jerome deals. 2-2, swung on, ball's hit high in the air to center field. Backtracking on the play is Leibel, and Leibel watches the ball go off the wall, and Jackson has a 2-out double under his belt. Hardhats keep rolling with some 2-out offense, and that'll bring up Alex Weaver, the left fielder. Weaver batting .290 on the year coming into this matchup. Post 22 sporting a 41-8 record in 49 games. This is their 50th game of the season. And this is the 42nd time in which Weaver will swing the bat. The Jeromes, both pitcher and catcher, have a quick conference prior to throwing a first pitch to Alex Weaver. Man on second for Weaver. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. The Hardhats with an early 1-0 lead thanks to a 2-out home run solo jack from Chase Caldwell. First pitch to Weaver. Swung on, ball's pulled but foul. Down the left field line, it's 0-1. Weaver just ahead of that pitch, but he made great contact. No balls and a strike to count to the hard-hat left fielder. Holden Jackson, the right fielder, leads off a second. 2-out double gained him entry on the base path. Peyton Jerome working on his 14th pitch of the inning. Takes a quick look at second. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside, and the count will even up now at 1-1 for Weaver. If Weaver's the last out, the heart of the order comes up for the A's in the top of the second. If not, Todd Stevens patiently waits for a chance in the on-deck circle. Ball and a strike to count to Weaver. And the pitch. Breaking ball misses low. Ball almost got away from Jerome, and Jackson with some heads-up base running will take third. 2 balls and a strike to count now to Weaver with Jackson 90 feet to his left. And the 2-1. Misses low and away, and the count goes to 3 balls and a strike now to Weaver. Alex Weaver with runners in scoring position, batting .259. 3-1 pitch. Called strike right at his knees. Fastball low in the zone, and the count will go full. Now for Weaver. Jerome, a big payoff pitch, trying to end the inning right here. Payoff to Weaver. Breaking ball, fouled, and he stays alive. Count will remain full as it goes over the broadcast bungalow and into the tennis court. I think if we played our cards right, we could probably sell some sponsorship for this old bungalow here. Payoff number 2 to Weaver. Pitch is swung on, lined into left field, and that'll drop for a base hit. Jackson comes in to score, and the Hardhats now have a 2-0 lead on a 2-out RBI single for Alex Weaver. Post 22 went down 1-2 in the order. Messer a ground out to short on his first pitch. Hegre struck out on 3. Then Caldwell followed up with a solo home run. Jackson a double, advanced on a pass ball, and then Weaver knocks him in with a 2-out RBI single. That'll bring up Todd Stevens with a chance to try and keep this inning going. Stevens batting .367 on the year. Man 90 feet to his right on first. And his first pitch is turned high in the air, but foul down the left field line, and it's 0-1. Stevens last night in the top of the 7th had a 2-out RBI double to tie the game up at 5 and eventually force extras for the Hardhats. Big offense from him late in last night's game. 0-1 pitch, called strike, breaking ball low on the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Stevens checked his swing, still a called strike anyway. 0-2 now to the Hardhats catcher. Post 22 out, now up 2-0 with 2 outs and a man on first here in the bottom of the first. 0-2, runner goes. Pitch is swung on, and it's drilled into left field, or rather to short, and the throw to first is not in time. And Weaver's going to take third on the sequence as well, as Stevens reaches. So it'll be men on the corners with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Branson Keel. That'll be an E6 for Stevens, so he won't get credit for the hit. First error of the ball game here for the A's. Branson Keel, the designated hitter. Man 90 feet to his left and right. First pitch. Breaking ball outside, it's 1-0. Keel batting .269 on the season, just the 13th game of the season which he swung the bat. Here's his 1-0. Runner goes. Called strike at his knees. Low outside corner, 1-1 as Stevens on a defensive indifference takes second. So now 2 men in scoring position here for Keel. Ball and a strike to count. Peyton Jerome full windup and the 1-1. Breaking ball low, called strike. And it's now 1-2 against Keel. That looked awfully low. Might need to bring out his pitching wedge here in this at-bat. Ball and 2 strikes to count. Jerome looking for a K to end it. And now time called. And Keel will step out and ponder the next pitch. 2 men in scoring position for Branson Keel. The Hardhats already up 2-0. Good crack at the bat could give the Hardhats an even bigger lead. And the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, chopped foul, third base side. And the count will hold at 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes here to Keel, the designated hitter. 7th man in the order for the Hardhats to come up in that order. Bachman on deck if the Hardhats keep piling up the 2-out offense. 2-0 the Hardhats lead right now. Jerome looking for his 2nd strikeout. 1-2 pitch to Keel. Is a breaking ball that buzzes the tower high and inside. 2-2. Todd Stevens on 2nd. Alex Weaver on 3rd. 2-2 is ripped foul. First base side out of play, and the count will hold even once again. At 2-2. No courtesy runner for Stevens out there. That is allowed. 1 courtesy runner per inning. Normally it goes to the catching position, but Stevens can run. So they'll leave him out there and let him fly. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Keel once again. 29th pitch of the inning for Jerome. And now time called once again. Quite a standoff between Jerome and Keel. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jerome a full windup for the righty. And the 2-2. Swung on, balls lined opposite field into right field for a base hit. 1 run's going to come in to score. Stevens rounds 3rd. He's going to score. Keel's on his horse to 2nd, and he's there in time. A 2-out, 2-run RBI double for Branson Keel. And Post 22's lead is now 4-0. Weaver and Stevens both come around to score. And Keel knocks in 2 runs. Man on 2nd, 2-out offense keeps the inning rolling. And that'll bring up Ryan Bachman. Bachman got some action last night in the 2nd game. Batting .318 on the season. Keel across from him on the diamond on 2nd. First pitch swung on, it's hit to short. Stop is made on the play by Friesen, and his throw to first is scooped in time. And that will end the bottom half of the first. Well, the Hardhats strike in serious fashion. 4 runs on 4 hits, an error charge to the A's, and a man stranded in scoring position. After 1 inning of baseball, Post 22, for a 4th game in a row, has an early lead, and this one stands at 4-0. When we come back, Jack Sorensen's on the mound to face the heart of the Athletics order. When we return, here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 Hardhats baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. No disasters early for the Hardhats, who are now off to a 4-0 lead on 4 hits with no errors on defense. Regina, 0s for runs and hits, but 1 blemish on defense. Mark Benetti alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City as we now come to the top half of the 2nd inning here this morning. Post 22 with their early 4-0 lead on the team from Regina, Saskatchewan, the Regina Athletics. Regina, Saskatchewan, the hometown of returning rush forward Garrett Klotz. We got a chance to talk with him earlier this summer on his return to the Black Hills and wanting to play for Coach Tatro and the Rapid City Rush organization. And Garrett has played against the Rush back with the Allen Americans. That was 5 seasons ago. And now playing for this team, he couldn't be happier at where he is in his 11th year as a professional. Former draft pick of the Philadelphia Flyers, making his home in Rapid City. Sorensen's first pitch to the leadoff man, Jordan Leibel, is a swing and a miss. 0-1. We just started the top half of the 2nd. The Hardhats now trying to defend a 4-0 lead. Sorensen with 2 Ks in the first inning. 0-1 pitch is foul to the backstop, and quickly he's in the driver's seat, 0-2. Sorensen, his first start of the season, his 11th appearance, though. No balls, 2 strikes in the driver's seat. And the 0-2 is swung on and missed, strike three. Strike three is dropped, though. Stevens fields, throws to first, and it's in time. A nice throw from Stevens to give Sorensen his third strikeout. In 4 batters faced. 1 up, 1 down, and that's going to bring up Matthew Turda, the third baseman. Empty base path for Turda and 1 out. Sorensen's only faced 2 lefties so far, and those came back in the top half of the first in the 2 and 3 spots. Turda steps in as a righty, and his first pitch is a swing and a miss. 0-1 the count to the Athletics third baseman. Hardhats with a 4-0 lead, 1 out here in the top of the second. Turda with an empty base path. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball too far inside. And a little bit high, 1-1. Post 22 is 3-0 in pool play here at the Burnsville Pool. A win here would give them a 4-0 record. Next pitch is a fastball low and away, and it'll go to 2 balls and a strike now to Turda. This game doesn't have too much of a bearing on Post 22's chances to advance. The 2-1 swung on and missed, 2-2. That matchup's actually the last one they'll play today at 1 o'clock local against the Rochester Patriots. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count now to Turda. Sorensen looking for a 4th strikeout on 5 batters faced. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And there's K number 4 for Sorensen, who is rolling right now. 2 up, 2 down, 5 in a row retired. That's going to bring up Dryden Blouse, the left fielder. Blouse will step in as a left-handed batter. So the third lefty, third mismatch for Sorensen. First pitch from Sorensen. Missed outside, 1-0. Ball and no strikes to count. Dryden Blouse. 1-0 is a check swing, but he pulled back on the high fastball, 2-0. Empty base path for Blouse. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Post 22 defending a 4-0 lead. And the 2-0 swung high in the air to left center field. Messer comes over. Underneath it, makes the catch and retires the side. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Hardhats on defense, which, as we all know, means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. Inning and a half of baseball in the books this morning, and Post 22's 4-0 lead is still intact. When we return, it's Mason Messenger at the bottom of the order, then back to the top to Drew Messer and Matt Hegre here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. We were talking earlier about how returning rush forward Garrett Klotz is originally from Regina, Saskatchewan. Played his junior hockey in the WHL with the Red Deer Rebels and the Saskatoon Blades, and played with current Stanley Cup champion goaltender Braden Holtby. And Garrett very excited to come back to the Rapid City Rush. And for those Rush fans tuning in this morning, don't forget that our season ticket packages are still available. Call the office at 716-7825 to get yours today. A lot of perks come with season tickets this year. If you get a full 36-game package, you'll get your own personalized jersey with your name on it or a name of your choice on it. And it's a season ticket member exclusive. So no one can buy it in the team store, and there's some talk that it might be worn in a game by the Rush later this year. Jury's still out on that one. Bottom half of the second inning now. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Hardhats in the order. We'll start off with Mason Messenger. Messenger, a right-handed batter, steps in. Batting .279 on the season. And Peyton Jerome's first pitch is a fastball low. It'll be 1-0 to the Hardhat shortstop. Messenger normally in second base on defense, but with Bowman sitting out, he's slotted over. His next pitch is hit high in the air to center. Underneath it is Leibel. And Leibel makes the catch for out number 1. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats, and that'll bring us back to the top of the order to Drew Messer. Messer's only seen 1 pitch. He hit the ball to short, but grounded out. 1 away from Messer and an empty base path here in the bottom of the second. Thought about showing bunt, but he pulls back as the pitch buzzes the tower high and inside. 1-0 for Messer with his Hardhats up 4-0 here in the bottom of the second. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit sky high in the air. Right on the first base line, Jerome comes off the mound, and he'll make the snag for out number 2. Not often you see a pop 1 in the book. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Matt Hegre, the third baseman. See if Lightning can strike twice for the Hardhats. Back in the bottom of the first, they went down 1-2, but then batted an extra 6 men and scored 4 runs. Jerome looking for a 1-2-3 inning. First pitch to Hegre. Breaking ball outside, 1-0. Hegre's 0 for 1, with the only strikeout issued by Jerome in this start. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball low and away, and Hegre's ahead 2-0 in his second plate appearance. Hardhats with a 4-0 lead. 7, 8, 9 due up for the A's if Hegre's retired in the top of the third. Next pitch swung on and missed on a high fastball. 2 balls and a strike now, the count to the Hardhats third baseman. And the 2-1 from Jerome. Swung on, ball's lined to third, but caught on the play by Turda. And that will end the inning in 1-2-3 fashion for the Hardhats on offense, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. 2 innings in the books, post 22, still commanding a 4-0 lead. Jack Sorensen's rolling right now, and he will return to the mound when we come back with the top half of the third inning and the bottom third of the Athletics order. You are listening to Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Jack Sorensen's managed to throw only 20 pitches through 2 innings. He has struck out 4 out of 6 batters and is clearly in the zone. Coming into the top half of the third against the Regina Athletics. Post 22 playing in their 4th of 5 games of pool play. Their last game will come not in the next one, but the one after that at 1 o'clock local time, where they'll take on the Rochester Patriots. Post 22, the last undefeated team in this Burnsville pool at 3-0, looking to improve to 4-0 before their showdown against Rochester. The Regina A's on the other side are 0-3, still looking for their first win of the tournament. Jack Sorensen will take on 7, 8, and 9 in the Regina order. Riley Bobrick, the right fielder, Walker Jerome, the catcher, and Gavin Wuschke, the first baseman, in that order. Bobrick steps in to lead off the top half of the third, a right-handed batter, against the righty and Sorensen. First pitch, a called strike, fastball in the outside corner. And Sorensen's ahead 0-1. Hardhats up 4-0 on 4 hits with no errors on defense. 0-1, foul tipped into the glove, strike 2. And Bobrick now behind 0-2 to Sorensen. Sorensen looking for K number 5 on his 7th batter faced. From the stretch, 0-2. Misses low, and it skips away from Stevens. Ball and 2 strikes now the count. 1-2 now to Bobrick, leading off the top half of the third. Post 22 trying to maintain a 4-0 lead. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to left. Underneath it is Weaver. And he makes the catch for out number 1. 1 up, 1 down for the A's here in the top of the third, and that'll bring us to the catcher, Walker Jerome. Jerome, a right-handed batter, steps in against the righty and Sorensen. Empty base path, and 1 out here in the top of the third. He shows bunt, but he fouls it. Right at the plate, it's 0-1. No balls and a strike to count here to Walker Jerome. And the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball just missed up high. Ball and a strike now the count from Sorensen to Jerome. Sorensen working relatively quickly in this inning. 1-1. Fastball called strike on the outside corner. It's 1-2. Sorensen looking for a 5th strikeout on his 8th batter faced. And the pitch hits him. And Walker Jerome will be the first base runner of the ball game for the A's. Hit by pitch will bring up Gavin Wuschke, the first baseman. Unfortunate that high fastball got away from Sorensen. That's the first hit batsman of the day and the 10th for Sorensen this season. Gavin Wuschke comes up. And they're looking at Walker Jerome right now at first. Post 22 has a 4-0 lead here in the top of the 3rd, and Jerome with the hit by pitch is the first base runner of the ball game. And it looks like they're going to send Ben Carter in to run for Jerome. Whether or not he is a substitution or a courtesy runner will be yet to be seen. Jerome's still over at first talking with his coaching staff after the hit by pitch. Now the home plate umpire comes over as well. I would imagine if Jerome's going to keep playing, this will be a courtesy runner, and as the catcher, that's normally the case in tournament play when a courtesy runner is allowed. They'll utilize that on the catching position so they can save their legs. Christina Burke, our trainer over there, taking a look at Walker Jerome, and it looks like he's going to walk it off and go back to the dugout. And he'll go to some applause. So Jerome on the hit by pitch will now give way to Ben Carter running for him on the base path, and that'll bring us to Gavin Wuschke, the first baseman, and the 9-hole hitter. Post 22 can still get out of this, turning a double play if they play their cards right. We're in the top of the 3rd. Hardhats with a 4-0 lead. Man on first, 1 out here in the inning. Sorensen gets the signal to play ball. First pitch to Wuschke. Fastball called strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Sorensen started off at least 5 of these 9 at-bats with a first pitch strike. 0-1. Just missed outside. And the count evens up at a ball and a strike. 1-1 now the count. And the 1-1 pitch. Runner goes. Called strike. Throw to second is not in time. Ryan Bachman thought he had it at second. But Ben Carter steals the base. It'll be a ball and 2 strikes to Wuschke with a man in scoring position here in the top of the 4th. The top of the 3rd, excuse me. Post 22 up 4-0. Sorensen looking for that 5th K. 1-2 pitch. Caught him looking. Strike 3. K number 5 for Sorensen. That's 2 down with a man on second. And we go back to the top of the order to Wiley Brisbourne. Brisbourne was the first of 5 Sorensen strikeouts through the first 9 men faced for number 23. 2 outs, a man on second. Here's the first pitch. Swung on and fouled off the end of the bat. 0-1. Post 22 will send Caldwell, Jackson, and Weaver to the batter's box in the bottom half of the 3rd if Sorensen can retire Brisbourne here. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, hit right back to Sorensen on the mound. Trots to first, and an underhand toss to Caldwell will put an end to the top half of the 3rd. No runs, no hits, no errors charged to the Hardhats, but a man left stranded on second for the A's. And after 2.5 innings of baseball, Post 22 has maintained their 4-0 lead. We'll take a step aside and come right back with 3, 4, and 5 in the Hardhats order here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Good to see Walker Jerome back behind the plate for the A's after he took that hit by pitch. Ben Carter came to courtesy run for him, and number 33 is going to stick it out behind the plate. Post 22 now back on offense here in the bottom of the 3rd. Jace Caldwell, Holden Jackson, and Alex Weaver scheduled to hit. 4-0 is the Hardhats lead. Jace Caldwell got the first run and the first hit of the entire ball game with a solo jack over the left field wall. 2 outs in the bottom of the first. And that sparked the Hardhats to 4 runs on 4 hits with 2 outs in that inning. It's the only offense provided by Post 22 in this ballgame. So Caldwell, Jackson, and Weaver slated to hit. Peyton Jerome still on the mound. A very efficient second inning for him. He started off with 30 pitches in that first inning and gave up the 4 runs on 4 hits. Countered with a 1-2-3 inning, which only required 8 pitches. So he and Sorensen practically level right now on pitch count. First pitch from Jerome is a breaking ball called strike at the knees of Caldwell. 0-1 the count to the Hardhats first baseman. We're in the bottom half of the third. Post 22 trying to expand a 4-0 lead. And the 0-1's a breaking ball outside. Ball and a strike. Jace Caldwell now 5 home runs on the season behind Bowman's 6. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball is pulled, just foul. Down the left field line. Ball and 2 strikes. Caldwell just ahead of that pitch. Any later, and he's definitely looking at a single at the minimum. 1-2. Jerome looking for his second K. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, chopped to the left side of the infield, and it gets by both Turda and Friesen at third and short respectively, and it trickles into left for a base hit. Jace Caldwell now 2 for 2 with a home run and a single, and that'll bring up Holden Jackson, who doubled in his first at-bat. Jackson also came around to score thanks to the RBI single with 2 outs from Alex Weaver. 3, 4, and 5 right now are 4 for 4 at this current moment. Caldwell leads off at first, and they'll check back, and he's there in time. Wasn't too big a lead for Caldwell, and kind of a nonchalant throw from Jerome. No real threat on that check down. Caldwell back to his lead. First pitch to Jackson. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air. Foul behind home plate. Both Jeromes go for it, and it goes into the A's dugout. And Jackson starts off 0-1. Post 22, a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. Caldwell, the leadoff man, is on with a single. Jackson currently behind 0-1 to Peyton Jerome. Jackson doubled to the left field wall the last time he was up. Peyton Jerome will throw from the stretch. Looks to first. 0-1 pitch. Fastball up high. Count evens up at 1-1. Post 22 will play their final game of pool play at 1 o'clock against the Rochester Patriots, and that will determine whether or not their stay in Minnesota will extend by a morning or end this afternoon. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball low, and it skips off at Jerome. Caldwell's going to take off for second. And now Holden Jackson has a chance to knock in a run here. 2 balls and a strike his count, and Jace Caldwell 180 feet from home. Two balls and a strike to count. Jerome looks in for a sign. 2-1 to Jackson. Breaking ball high and away. 3-1. Jerome has yet to surrender a base on balls. He's a pitch away from doing just that. He has struck out 1, and there is an error as well charged to the A's defense. 3-1. That misses low and away for ball 4. So Jackson earns a walk, and that'll put men on first and second for Alex Weaver, who already has an RBI base hit in this ballgame. 1 for 1 with the Ribby single, and a run scored to his credit. 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the order are responsible for the only runs of the ballgame, and all 4 of those belong to Post 22. A 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. No one out, men on first and second for Weaver. And his first pitch is hit foul. Down the left field line and out of play, it's 0-1. Todd Stevens on deck, reached on the only error of the ballgame. He patiently waits for his chance in the on-deck circle. Weaver steps back in. Both men on first and second take their lead. Caldwell in scoring position, Jackson on first. 0-1 pitch. Fastball inside is fouled right off of Weaver's leg. That's a stinger. Went right off the inside of his left leg, and he's just trying to walk it off right now. Hopefully he's not too banged up there. Coach Kelvin Torvey coming over from third and Christina Burke, the trainer, from the dugout to have a quick look at number 18. Alex Weaver got his first action of the Gopher Classic last night against the host in Burnsville. And Weaver on the ball game went 0 for 4, reached on a walk and an error, scored both times he got on the base path, and he struck out once. Weaver's already battled an injury earlier this season, and it looks like he's going to gut it out for the rest of this at-bat. And obviously the post-22 faithful appreciate the gritty play. No balls, 2 strikes the count here to Weaver. Fouled that last pitch off the inside of his leg. That was the brief delay we had. Jerome looking for his second K. Weaver looking for his second RBI hit. No balls and 2 strikes, and this will be Jerome's 50th pitch of the start here in the bottom of the third. 0-2. Breaking ball turned on into left, and that will drop for a base hit, and it gets by the left fielder in Browse, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Caldwell's going to come in to score. Jackson gets the green light. He rounds third. He's going to come in, and the throw's not in time. Weaver to third gets there. The 2-run RBI double will advance to third on the throw, and the Hardhats lead is now 6-0. Weaver batting 1,000 with 3 runs knocked in on the ball game. And now with the man 90 feet to his left, Todd Stevens has a chance to add to the Hardhats' advantage. No one out. Alex Weaver on third. Fouled off his second pitch right off the inside of his leg and just gutted it out with a huge RBI hit. And the first pitch to Stevens, a breaking ball inside, 1-0. Stevens reached on an error, came around to score the 4th of now 6 Hardhats runs. And the next pitch is another breaking ball low and inside, and it'll be 2-0. Alex Weaver, 90 feet to his left. 6-0 now the Hardhats lead. No outs here in the bottom of the third. 2-0. Low and away. 3 balls, no strikes. And Stevens a pitch away from being the second walk issued by Jerome in this start. 3-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled off the end of the bat down the first base line. Be 3-1 now to the Hardhats backstopper. After this game, Regina will stick around and they'll take on Chanhassen. Following that matchup, the Hardhats will play their final game against the Rochester Patriots, and then the Patriots will follow up against Burnsville. And then Burnsville will follow that up against Stillwater to round out the day's 5 games on the slate. 3-1 hits him, and Todd Stevens will walk over to first. First hit by pitch for Jerome in the start. And now it'll be men to the left and right of Branson Keel. He has a 2-run RBI double in this ballgame. No outs, men on the corners. Bottom of the third, the Hardhats up 6-0. First pitch. Low and away, fastball, 1-0. Stevens leads off of first, Weaver off of third. 1-0 pitch. Runner goes. Next pitch is swung on, and it's hit by the third baseman and into left for a base hit. Weaver's going to come around to score. Stevens is coming to third, and the throw doesn't get there. An RBI single for Branson Keel, and the Hardhats extend their lead to 7-0. Men on the corners and no one out for Ryan Bachman. Branson Keel batting 1,000, and he has 3 runs knocked in as well. Bachman 0 for 1 with a ground out to short, and now we're going to have a conference on the mound. Jerome at 57 pitches here in the bottom of the third and no one out. And not sure if he's going to give the ball over to someone else or if he's going to stay. Post 22 now has a 7-0 lead. And it looks like Jerome's going to stay. It was just a conference for everybody to get on the same page here. Men on the corners for Ryan Bachman looking for his first hit. He ended the bottom of the first with a ground out to short. Men 90 feet to his left and right, and the Hardhats up 7-0 with no outs here in the bottom of the third. First pitch. Missed low. 1-0. Mason Messenger, the shortstop, on deck. he will hit in this inning, barring a crazy triple play. 1-0 pitch. Misses low and away. And the count is now 2 balls, no strikes to the hard hat second baseman. Branson Keel on first with the RBI single. Todd Stevens on third. Hit by pitch got him on the base path. And the 2-0 skips away from Jerome behind home plate. Stevens will come in to score, and Keel will take second. And the Hard Hats lead is now 8-0. 3 balls and no strikes the count to Ryan Bachman with a man on second. Eight to nothing now the Hard Hats lead. 3 balls, no strikes the count to Bachman. And the 3-0 is high and inside, and Bachman will trot down the first base line. Second walk of the inning issued by Jerome. On top of a hit by pitch, so 3 free base runners. It'll be men on first and second now for Mason Messenger. Hard Hats have played it another 4, and it looks like we've got a second mound visit here, and that will be the end of Peyton Jerome's start. 61 pitches for Jerome. He walked 1. He struck out 1 and walked a pair and hit a batter as well on his 61 pitches. Jerome ended up going 2+ innings of work and allowed 7 hits, 8 runs, and he's responsible for both gentlemen on the base path here as well. So that could potentially be 10 depending on what happens with the newest pitcher for the A's. We'll take a step aside and come right back in just a few moments with Mason Messenger up, men on first and second, no one out here in the bottom of the third, and the Hard Hats have doubled their lead to 8-0. You're listening to Post 22 Hard Hats Baseball on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Pitching change here for the Regina Athletics is now taking over on the mound from left field is Dryden Blouse. Blouse takes over for Jerome, who went 2+ innings, and he allowed 8 runs, all but 1 of them earned on 7 hits. And he's responsible for the men on first and second, so depending on how this inning goes, his stat line could change to 9 earned runs and 10 total allowed. He struck out 1 and he walked a pair, also hit a batter on 61 pitches in this appearance. And now, Dryden Blouse will take over. Blouse will first square up against Mason Messenger, who's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. Messenger has men on first and second, Bachman on first, and Branson Keel on second. The Hard Hats have yet to register an out in this inning. Messenger looking for his first hit of this affair. 4 runs on 3 hits in this frame for Post 22. 8-0 their advantage. Messenger steps in, righty on righty, as Blouse coming in from left field, a right-handed pitcher. First pitch to Messenger. That skips low, and everybody's going to advance a base as it bounces off of Walker Jerome behind home plate. So now it's 2 men in scoring position for Messenger and a 1-0 count. Messenger a chance to add 2 more runs for the Hard Hats with a good crack of the bat. 1-0 pitch. And that misses low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 the count to the Hard Hat shortstop. 2 balls and no strikes. I'd expect Blouse to go fastball here. 2-0. Swung on. The ball is hit right to third. Stop made by Turda. He throws it home. The ball's bobbled. Keel's going back. And now he's caught in a rundown between third and home. And the ball comes back to the pitcher. And throw to third is in time. They got him. Bachman advances to second. Messenger reaches on the fielder's choice. Not even going to bother to try and score that. It went through about 5 different people in the infield. Looks like it went 5, 2, 6, 1, 5, I believe. And now we go back to the top of the order with men on first and second and 1 out, and it's Drew Messer. Messer looking for his first hit. 0 for 2, and he fouls off his first pitch, and that will come just over our stands. 0 and 1. I'm going to stick with that. 5, 2, 6, 1, 5, I believe. That was quite a sequence. So Keel thrown out, trying to come home. Oh, 1 to Messer. And that skips away, and everybody's going to advance another base. So Bachman now on third, and Messenger over to first. So it'll be a ball and a strike to Messer. 2 men in scoring position. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. The Hardhats have already played at 4 in this inning, and now lead 8-0 over the Regina Athletics. No balls and a strike. And the pitch. Too far inside. Or excuse me, 2 balls and a strike. That one was low. That sent the runners. 2 and 1. Now to Messer. Pitching in relief is Dryden Blouse from left field. 2-1, swung on and missed. Fastball low and away, and the count evens up now at 2 and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Blouse looking for his first K in relief. Be a big second out in the inning. 2-2 pitch. Fastball is ripped foul down the third baseline. And the count will hold at 2 and 2. 1 out, men on second and third for Drew Messer, back at the top of the Hardhats order. They've played at 4 runs on 3 hits in this inning and now have an 8-0 lead over the A's. 2 and 2 still the count. Blouse sets, and the pitch. Misses low, and the count goes full. Good eye from Messer. Messer grounded out to short, popped out to the pitcher right on the first baseline. So he's looking for either his first hit or his first chance on the base path. If he walks, it would load them up for Hegre. Payoff pitch. Swung on, ball is hit over the head of the third baseman, but foul. And the count will hold full, and he'll get a second payoff. Messer making good contact. He's just a tad bit early. If he gets his timing set, he could knock in 2 runs for the Hardhats. Payoff number 2 from Blouse. And that's low and away for ball 4. And Messer will advance to first. That will load the bases up with 1 out. And now Matt Hegre, who's 0 for 2, looking for his first hit. And if he makes solid contact, this could be more runs for the Hardhats. 8-0 their lead. Blouse will face Hegre for the first time. First pitch. Swung on, ball's hit right back to the mound. Blouse bobbles the ball, tries to get it off to home, and they got it. And Bachman's out at the plate on the 1-2 force. So 1-2 fielder's choice, 2 outs will bring us back to Jace Caldwell, who started off this inning with a single. 2 outs, still every base occupied for the Hardhats. Hegre on first, Messer on second, Messenger on third. Jace Caldwell batting 1,000, 2 for 2 with a home run, a single, and 2 runs scored. And his first pitch is swung on, ball's hit sky high in the air to third. Turda is underneath it on the line. He'll give way to the shortstop in Friesen. And Friesen makes the catch, and the Hardhats strand the bases loaded. But they did get 4 runs on the play on 3 hits. No errors were charged to the A's. And at the end of 3 innings, Post 22 now has an 8-0 lead as we come to the top of the 4th. Jack Sorensen back on the mound to continue rolling in his quality start. We'll be right back with the top of the 4th inning here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 Hard Hats Baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. Post 22 added an extra 4 runs in the bottom half of the third and now have an 8-0 lead over the Regina Athletics as we come to the top half of the fourth inning. Friesen, Jerome, and Leibel slated to hit for Regina here in the top of the fourth. Mark Benetti alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Sorensen's first pitch to Friesen outside for ball one. Friesen 0 for 1 with a 3-1 ground out. A nice combination from Caldwell to Sorensen. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, ball's lined into left center. Messer charges in from center and the ball drops in front of him for a hit. And that'll be the first hit of the ball game for the A's here in the top of the fourth. Leadoff single now brings up the starting pitcher turned left fielder, Peyton Jerome. Jerome batting left-handed. Steps in against Sorensen for a second time. He is the second of 5 Jack Sorensen strikeouts. And his first pitch is high and away, 1-0. One ball and no strikes to count. And the 1-0 misses outside, 2-0. Peyton Friesen is on first with the leadoff single here in the top of the fourth. Hardhats up 8-0. And the 2-0 pitch is high and away, 3 balls and no strikes. Sorensen has yet to issue a free pass that is not a hit-by pitch. He's a pitch away from his first walk. And Sorensen's 3-0. Called strike inside right at the knees. And it's 3-1. Jerome has to see another pitch here. 3 balls and a strike. Friesen 90 feet to his right on first. Check to first, and it's not there in time. Back safely is Friesen. Post 22, 8 runs on 7 hits. No errors on defense. No runs on now the first hit of the ball game for the A's. And 1 error. 3-1. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to right. Holden Jackson backtracking at the warning track, and he makes the catch. And Friesen will retreat to first as he gets the throw in. And the throw goes wide, but Friesen won't take second. 1 away, still with the man on first. And that'll bring us to Jordan Leibel, the cleanup hitter and center fielder. Leibel was the third of 5 Sorensen strikeouts. And now Ryan Clappridge is going to come out and have a quick word with Sorensen. And I believe that's going to be the end of Sorensen's start. And it looks like we will have a pitching change. Sorensen, a quality start here. 41 pitches. Took up some big innings for the Hardhats in this tournament. He ended up going 3 1/3. And he allowed only 1 hit, no runs, but he is responsible for the man on first. He didn't walk anyone, hit a batter, and struck out 5 in the start. A job well done by number 23. Folks, we'll take a quick breather. When we'll come back, we'll give you the information on the new pitcher for Post 22 here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Alex Weaver is now on the mound for Post 22, and we have some shuffling for the Hardhats defensive alignment. Sorensen comes out of the ball game. Again, a quality start, and we'll recap his numbers in just a few moments. Holden Jackson is going to move over to left field, and And Branson Keel will give up his DH tag and will move into right. Weaver will remain in the lineup, I would imagine. This is his first appearance on the mound for the Hardhats this season. So Coach Torvey looking to save the rest of his pitching staff for what we know is going to be a winner-take-all affair against the Rochester Patriots in Game 2 of this doubleheader, and for the Hardhats, their final game of pool play. Now keep in mind, if the Hardhats, despite winning or losing this game, if they lose to Rochester, they have to wait to see what Rochester does in their final game to determine the length of their stay here in Minnesota. Jordan Leibel, the cleanup man, the first batter for Alex Weaver to face. Weaver yet to see the mound this season up until now. And his first pitch is turned high in the air to left field. Jackson going towards the wall, and we'll watch it go out of here. And it's a two-run home run on the first pitch thrown this season by Alex Weaver, and the Hardhats lead is now cut to 8-2. A one-out, two-run blast for Jordan Leibel. So that's now going to bring us to Matthew Turta, the third baseman. Turta is 0 for 1. He was the fourth of 5 Jack Sorensen strikeouts. Here comes Weaver's first pitch to him. And that's upstairs, 1-0. Hardhats' lead is now 8-2. Second hit of the ball game here for Regina. And the 1-0. Breaking ball is fouled off the mask of Stevens. That's why the catcher wears a mask. 1-1. Ball and a strike now, the count. Empty base path for Turta. And the 1-1 rides upstairs, 2-1. There's one out here in the top of the fourth. Regina just got their first 2 runs of the ball game. Now it's an 8-2 Hardhats lead here in the top of the fourth. And the next pitch misses low. It'll be 3 balls and a strike now to Turta from Weaver. 3-1 now the count, and Weaver's pitch is check swung and missed. And the count goes full. Weaver looking for his first strikeout in relief following the 2-run home run. Payoff pitch. Swung on, and the ball's chopped to third. Charging in Hegre, scoops on the run. Throw to first is in time for out number 2. Two down, and that'll bring up Dryden Blouse, the left fielder turned reliever. Blouse, the third lefty in the lineup for the Athletics, is 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. Weaver in his first pitching action of the season, trying to get the final out. And the first pitch is high and away, 1-0. If Weaver can get Blouse out, Jackson, Weaver, and Stevens will hit in the bottom half of the fourth. And the 1-0 is too far inside and skips to the backstop. It's 2-0. Post 22 up 8-2 on the Athletics. Regina getting their first 2 hits of this ball game in this inning. One of them a 2-run home run. 2-0, swung on and missed on a breaking ball outside. 2-1. Two balls and a strike to count. And Weaver's pitch. Low and inside, 3-1. He battled back in the last at-bat to get a full count and then a ground out. And here is the 3-1 to Blouse. And that misses low for ball 4. And that's the first walk issued by Hardhats pitching in this game. 2 outs in the top of the fourth, a man on first, and that'll bring up Riley Bobrick, the right fielder. Bobrick's 0 for 1 with a fly out to left. And time is called, and it looks like they will send in a courtesy runner. That'll be Ben Carter again, I believe. Carter will come in, and he will run for Blouse. Second time Carter's come in to courtesy run. He did it for Walker Jerome back in the third. So now it's Carter on first. And the first pitch swung on, hit high in the air to shallow left. Hegre from third makes the catch on the line, and that will end the top half of the fourth. 2 runs on 2 hits for Regina. No errors charged to the Hardhats, and a man left on first for the A's. We played exactly half the ball game, and the Athletics are on the board, trailing the Hardhats by an 8-2 score. We'll take a step aside, and when we return, Alex Weaver now on the mound will bat in between Holden Jackson and Todd Stevens here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 now back to the sticks here in the bottom half of the fourth. Holden Jackson, Alex Weaver, Todd Stevens scheduled to hit for the Hardhats, who lead the Regina Athletics 8-2. If the Hardhats can plate 2 and get 3 outs without allowing a run in the top of the fifth, then Post 22 will end the game early and go 4-0 in pool play. But the Hardhats are in the driver's seat with a 6-run lead. Alex Weaver came in to take over for Jack Sorensen, and what a start Sorensen had. Number 23 went 3 1/3. Struck out 5, didn't walk anyone. He allowed a run, officially, on just a hit, and did it on 41 pitches. Mark Benetti alongside you in our broadcast bungalow behind home plate here at Burnsville High School. Post 22 up 8-2 here in the bottom of the fourth. Holden Jackson steps in, batting 1,000 with a double, a walk, and 2 runs scored in the ballgame. First pitch. Swung on and turned foul. 0-1. Dryden Blouse still on the mound here for the A's. In relief of Peyton Jerome, they have flopped between left field and the mound. 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses low, and the count will even up at a ball and a strike. One and one the count. And the pitch. Swung on, ball's lined in the air to left. And underneath it to make the play is Peyton Jerome for out number 1. That'll bring up the left fielder turned reliever, Alex Weaver. Did not intend for that to rhyme. That was actually pretty cool. Weaver 2 for 2 with a ribby single and a 2-run RBI double. He's also come around to score twice. Jerome from the stretch, Blouse from the stretch. And the first pitch to Weaver is a pitch right at his letters, 1-0. Weaver seeing his first action of the season on the mound today for Post 22. And outside of the home run, hasn't looked bad. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, ball's fouled right over the bungalow. 1-1. Todd Stevens in the on-deck circle for Post 22. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Hardhats have an 8-2 lead. They can plate 2 runs and get out of the top of the fifth. Ball game will come to an end. 1-1 pitch. And Weaver fouls it to the backstop. Just got under that breaking ball. 1-2. Weaver steps back in against Blouse. From the stretch, 1-2 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to left field. It's got some legs on it. Jerome right at the wall will make the catch for out number 2. It's the Peyton Jerome show here in the bottom half of the 4th. He has both outs. Ball's hit to left field, and that's going to bring up Todd Stevens with 2 outs. Stevens steps in. And the first pitch. Breaking ball called strike right at his knees. 0-1. Well placed by Blouse. No balls and a strike to Stevens. Stevens on the ball game is 0 for 1. Reached on an error, was hit by a pitch, but he came around to score both times. And the 0-1 just misses outside, low and away. And it's 1-1 now to the hard hat catcher. If Stevens is retired, 8, 9, and 1 are slated to hit for Regina here in the top of the 5th. If not, Branson Keel, DH turned right fielder, is on deck. 1-1 pitch, misses low. It'll be 2-1 now to Stevens. Post 22 has 8 runs on 7 hits in this ballgame. Regina 2 runs on 2 hits and an error. 2-1 pitch is upstairs to Stevens. It'll be 3-1. And the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. And the count now goes full for Stevens. Big payoff pitch could either end the inning right here or keep it going. 2 outs and an empty base path for Stevens. Blouse looks in, trying to end this inning. Payoff to Stevens. Caught him looking, strike 3. And that'll end the inning in 1-2-3 fashion. No runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base for the Hardhats. We've played 4 innings of baseball, and the Hardhats lead still remains 8-2 over the Regina Athletics. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the top of the 5th in just a few moments, with Alex Weaver back on the mound here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Back to it here at the top of the 5th. Post 22 taking on the Regina Athletics in the first day of this slate here at the Burnsville site at the Gopher Classic. Post 22 is back in action later today at 1 o'clock local, so that'll be noon back home for those listening in Rapid City. Thanks for waking up this morning with us, folks. It's about 8:15 back home. Mark Benetti alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City as Alex Weaver begins his second inning of relief and throws the first pitch strike to Walker Jerome, the catcher. Jerome was hit by a pitch, the only free base runner allowed by Jack Sorensen in his start. And the 0-1 is chopped foul right in front of the A's dugout, and quickly he's behind 0-2. Walker Jerome followed by Gavin Wuschke, and then back to the top to Wiley Brisbourne. Slated to hit for Regina here in the top of the 5th. 8-2 the Hardhats lead. 0-2 from Weaver. Swung on and missed, strike 3. It's dropped. Stevens fields, and his throw to first is in time. That'll be Weaver's first strikeout of the year, as this is his first appearance on the mound. 1 up, 1 down brings us now to Gavin Wuschke. Wuschke's 0 for 1 with the final strikeout issued by Sorensen of his 5. It's a backwards K. First pitch swung on, and it's flared over the head of Caldwell into shallow right, and it drops fair for a base hit. So Wuschke gets a bloop single into shallow right with 1 out, and that'll bring us back to the top of the order to Wiley Brisbourne, the second baseman. Brisbourne looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2. Strikeout to start off the entire ball game, and then he grounded out to the mound to end the top of the third. First pitch from Weaver. Breaking ball called strike. On the outside, it's 0-1. Weaver looks over to first. And the 0-1 misses low. Stevens gets a block and hanging tight. There's Wuschke over there at first. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Weaver about to throw his 20th pitch in relief. 1-1. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air. Stevens looking for it, and he'll make the catch right in front of the third base line, and quickly there's a second out for the Hardhats. 2 down with a man on first, and that'll bring us to Peyton Friesen, the left-handed hitting shortstop. Friesen's 1 for 2, had the first hit of the ball game for Regina of their 2. He ended up scoring on the 2-run home run. That was hit by Jordan Leibel. First pitch from Weaver. Called strike. Fastball outside corner. It's 0-1. Friesen steps in against Weaver with the man on first. 0-1 pitch swung on and missed inside. And Weaver's in the driver's seat, 0-2, looking for his second strikeout of the year. Weaver in his first pitching appearance this season, trying to get the job done for the Hardhats here in the top of the 5th. Time was, no, they're calling a balk. And Wuschke will advance to second. That pitch won't count to Friesen, who's behind 0-2. It's a balk, and now a man on second for the A's. No balls and 2 strikes. Weaver's 0-2 to Friesen is outside. 1-2. So Weaver with the balk puts Wuschke in scoring position, trying to lock it down here against Friesen. 1-2 pitch is high and away, and the count evens up at 2-2. Weaver has some more wiggle room here, but not much more. Counts even now at 2 aside. Hardhats with an 8-2 lead here in the top of the 5th. 2 outs for the A's. 2-2, swung on, and it's hit right back to the mound. Weaver gets it at the side toss to first is in time, and that will end the top of the 5th. No runs on a hit, no errors, and a man stranded in scoring position for the A's. We've played 4.5 innings of baseball. Hardhats have an 8-2 lead. If they can plate 2 runs here, the ball game will come to an end. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 5th and the bottom third of the order slated to hit here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Post 22 now heads to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Here at the Burnsville site of the Gopher Classic. Dryden Bras still on the mound. For the A's, he'll take on 7, 8, 9 in the Hardhats order, barring any substitutions. That's Branson Keel, DH turned right fielder. Ryan Bachman, the second baseman. Mason Messenger, the shortstop. Mark Minetti alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM and 1340 AM. Hardhats have an 8-2 lead here in their 4th game of pool play action of the Gopher Classic. If the Hardhats plate 2 runs here, the ball game comes to an end. They will invoke the 8-run rule, and they will go 4-0 in the pool. The real pool situation hangs on the balance of their second matchup against the Rochester Patriots. Rochester will come into that matchup with a 2-1 record. If the Hardhats get the job done here and they beat Rochester, they will move on to the bracket stage tomorrow morning to play their first game. If not, if they can't get the win here, then it really comes down to Rochester. But if they get the win here and lose to Rochester, then Rochester has to lose their final game. Branson Keel looks at a first pitch by his bucket. 1-0. Keel's batting 1,000. 2 RBI hits on the game, a 2-run RBI double and an RBI single. Played quite well in the batter's box for the Hardhats. Here's his 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. And the count evens up at 1-1. So the pool really hangs in the balance of the Hardhats' next matchup, which will be played at 1 o'clock local time. So noon back home in Rapid. 1-1 to Keel. Breaking ball turned on into left, and it'll drop in front of Jerome for a base hit. Branson Keel batting 1,000 today. Pair of singles and a double. Leads off with a single, and that'll bring up Ryan Bachman, who's 0 for 1, looking for his first hit of the day's action. Bachman grounded out to short to end the bottom of the first, and then he walked and was stranded on third in the bottom of the third. Branson Keel leads off for first. First pitch to Bachman. Low and away, and it skips off at Jerome. Keel's going to take off for second. And now Branson Keel on the pass ball is in scoring position. 1-0 count to Bachman. Bachman looking for his first hit of the day. He could potentially drive Keel home if he gets it. 1-0. Swung on, ball's fouled. Flared off first base side, and the count evens up at 1-1. Bachman going after the high fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike is count. Mason Messenger, the shortstop, is on deck. And Drew Messer back at the top of the order if we get that far. Blouse looks in, gets his sign, and he'll set from the stretch. 1-1 pitch. Misses low. 2-1 now to Bachman. Bachman's already drawn a walk. Came back at the bottom of the third with the Hardhats added another 4 runs on 3 hits. Post 22 with an 8-2 lead. 8 runs on now 8 hits. 2-1 pitch. Misses low. Jerome gets the block. He'll stay put on second. 3-1 now to Bachman. Mason Messenger patiently waiting in the on-deck circle. Blouse trying to avoid issuing a walk. 3-1 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to center. Backtracking is Leibel, and Leibel will make the catch. Tagging up and heading to third is Branson Keel. A well-hit ball by Ryan Bachman, just wasn't deep enough. 1 out as Keel takes over at third, and that'll bring us to Mason Messenger. Messenger a chance to knock in Keel 90 feet to his left. Extend the Hardhats lead. Right now it stands at 8-2. If Post 22 can score 2 runs in this inning, the ballgame will come to an end. Blouse trying to avoid that and give Regina a shot in the 6th. First pitch to Messenger is upstairs, 1-0. Messenger's 0 for 2, grounded it away. 5-2, 6-1-5 fielder's choice that got Branson Keel out between third and home. Also flew out to center. Next pitch to Messenger's too far inside, and it's low, 2-0. Drew Messer in the on-deck circle. Mason Messenger trying to bring the Hardhats that much closer to a win. 8-2 their lead. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, ball's pushed to the opposite side of the infield. Stop is not made by the second baseman, Brisbourne. It goes right by him and into shallow right. And the Hardhats will get a 9th run knocked in. It's Branson Keel coming home. And now they have a 9-2 lead. They're going to give Mason Messenger an infield hit there. With 1 out, he's now on first. Back to the top of the order we go to Drew Messer. Check to first, and Messenger's back. Messer looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Round out to short and a pop out to first. Rather, excuse me, to the pitcher right down the first baseline. First pitch. Breaking ball swung on, hit to third. Turda gets the stop. To second for 1. To first for 2. They're not going to get it. That'll be a 5-4 fielder's choice as Messer is safe at first. 2 outs. Messenger thrown out on the base path. That'll bring up Matt Hegre, who's 0 for 3. His first hit of the game would keep this inning going. Messer leads off at first. Blau steals his first pitch. Breaking ball low. 1-0. Ball and no strikes to count for Matt Hegre. Messer leads off at first. And the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, the ball's ripped in a left, and that's going to drop in front of Jerome for a base hit. And Messer will slam the brakes at second, and Hegre gets his first hit of the ball game and keeps the inning going. A 2-out single for the Hardhats third baseman moves the game-ending run to second, and that brings up Jace Caldwell, who was red hot in this ball game, with a chance to end it right here. Caldwell 2 for 3, a home run, a single, 2 runs scored. If he knocks in Drew Messer, the Hardhats get the win. 9-2 is their lead. First pitch, a breaking ball hits sky high to shallow right center, coming in from center Leibel, and he makes the catch, and that'll put an end to the inning. Well, the Hardhats will have to play in the 6th. They get a run on 3 hits, no errors charged to the A's, and 2 men left on the base path. 5 innings of baseball, and Post 22's lead now stands at 9-2 over the Regina Athletics. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the top of the 6th, and 3, 4, and 5 slated to hit for the A's here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Post 22 Hardhats baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. Post 22 taking on the Regina Athletics in Game 4 out of 5 for them to be played in the pool play stage of the Gopher Classic. 9-2 is their advantage at the current moment. For the Hardhats, it's 9 runs on 10 hits with no errors on defense. And for the A's, it's 2 runs on 3 hits with 1 blemish in the field. Thanks so much once again for spending your morning with us, folks. Mark Benetti alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. The A's now back on the offensive here in the top of the 6th. Hardhats had a chance to end it in the bottom of the 5th with the 8th run, rather their 10th run of the game, but their 8th to extend their lead in scoring position. But a fly out to center ended the frame. And now a first pitch, swing and a miss, is dealt to Peyton Jerome from Alex Weaver to start off the top of the 6th, and he starts off 0-1. Weaver with a strikeout and a walk in relief. This is his first pitching appearance, and his next pitch to Jerome is fouled down the first baseline. It's 0-2. Be Peyton Jerome, Jordan Leibel, and Matthew Turtis slated to hit in the top of the 6th here. Weaver looking for his second K, and the 0-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball, swung on and missed, strike 3. Jerome chased it outside, and that'll be K number 2 for Weaver. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 6th. Brings us to Leibel, who is responsible for a 2-run home run. And the only runs of the game scored for Regina. First pitch is a called strike. Fastball in the outside corner. 0-1. Leibel hit that home run off of Weaver, so it's good to see that Weaver's been able to bounce back from that. 0-1 pitch hit sky high in the air to the infield. Weaver calls for it from the mound, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Play like that seems relatively easy for Weaver, obviously playing out in the left field on a normal basis. So a pop fly is just a can of corn to him. 2 up, 2 down. And that'll now bring us to Matthew Turda, the third baseman. Turda's 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out to third. First pitch. Misses upstairs, 1-0. If Turda's retired, Jackson, Weaver, and Stevens would all bat in the bottom half of the 6th. And the 1-0 misses outside. It'll be 2-0. Not a bad relief appearance here for Weaver. He's certainly eating up some innings for the Hardhats. Save their arms for the final matchup against Rochester to be played at 1 local time. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit right back to him on the mound. It goes off of his glove. Weaver fields and an underhand toss to first. Will end the inning in 1-2-3 fashion. We all know that means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base for Regina. The Hardhats get a run here in the bottom of the 6th. They will end the ball game. If not, 3 outs away in the top of the 7th from getting their 4th win of the pool play stage. We'll be right back with Jackson, Weaver, and Stevens to hit here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 back on the offensive here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Holden Jackson, Alex Weaver, and Todd Stevens scheduled to hit for the Hardhats, who hold a 9-2 lead over the Regina Athletics here in their 4th game of the pool play stage here in the 2018 Gopher Classic. Mark Benetti alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. And as always, stream live on the internet on Hardhats-TV. Holden Jackson will start off the inning. Went from right field to left field in this ballgame. Jackson is 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, 2 runs scored, and a fly out to now his position at left. Jackson's bat has been fantastic in this tournament. He had a great first game against Stillwater in what was a 14-4 win for the Hardhats. Blouse still on the mound in relief for the A's. First pitch. Breaking ball, sky high in the air, right to the mound. Blouse says he's underneath it, and he's got it, and he will come through with that promise and make the catch. Pop 1 in the book on just 1 pitch, and that'll bring up Alex Weaver. Weaver, the left fielder turned pitcher. 2 for 3, pair of RBI hits, a single and a double, 3 runs knocked in, 2 runs scored. Quite a morning for him. Empty base path and 1 out for the Hardhats reliever. And his first pitch is swung on and missed, the breaking ball. 0-1. Weaver just a bit early on it. He was looking fastball on that first pitch. 0-1 the count. And Blouse deals. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And Weaver behind 0-2 quickly on 2 swings and misses. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Blouse looking for his second K in relief. 0-2, swung on, ball's hit high in the air to left center field. Jerome running to his left, and he can't make the catch as he dives. Ball rolls all the way to the wall, and Weaver will trot to second with a 1-out double. His second extra base hit of the ballgame. And that's going to bring up Todd Stevens. The game-ending run is on second with the Hardhats up 9-2 here in the bottom of the sixth. If Stevens can knock in Weaver, the ballgame will end in a Hardhats 10-2 win. Stevens is 0 for 2. Reached on an error, a hit by pitch, and a strikeout looking. He has come around to score twice. And the first pitch is a breaking ball up high, 1-0. Alex Weaver, 3 for 4. A heck of a morning for him. A pair of doubles, 3 runs knocked in, 2 runs scored. And if he scores a third run, it will bring the ball game to its conclusion. 1-0, and Stevens turns on it, fouls it. 1-1. Post 22 will play the Rochester Patriots later today at 1 o'clock, so a split doubleheader here for this morning and the afternoon. If the Hardhats win this game, they'll be 4-0 against the 2-1 Patriots, who still have 2 games left. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, and it's hit to the left side of the infield by Turda, and it goes off of Friesen, the shortstop. And everyone's safe as Weaver advances to third, and Stevens will take first. That's an infield single for Stevens. His first hit of the day. Advances Weaver 90 feet away from ending the ball game, and he'll put men on the corners. And Branson Keel, the right fielder, has a chance to end it right here. Keel batting 1,000. Probably the best man tasked for this situation right now. Pair of singles, a double, and 3 runs knocked in. 1 run scored. First pitch swung on, ball's hit sky high in the air to left, shallow left. Coming in is Jerome. He makes the catch. Weaver's going to stay put at third. Stevens will head to second. And now it's 2 outs on the F7. And now the game is on the bat of Ryan Bachman. If Bachman knocks in Weaver, the game ends. If not, the Hardhats need 3 outs in the top of the 7th to seal it. Todd Stevens on second won't factor into pretty much any of this unless the ball leaves the yard. Bachman 0 for 2 with a walk. He had a well-hit ball to center in his last time up. And the first pitch is a breaking ball low, and he lets it go. 1-0 now to Bachman. First base is open. So if Bachman walks, it would be bases loaded for Mason Messenger to try and walk off for the Hardhats. 9-2 is the post 22 lead. A run here will end it. Blouse looks in from the stretch. 1-0 to Bachman. And that misses low, and it skips away. Everybody's going to hang on, though. It didn't skip too far away, though, from Jerome. Lucky break there for Regina as it's 2-0 to Bachman. And a good heads-up base running display there by Weaver to stay put on third. Normally, you get so antsy, you just want to end the ball game, you try and go, but it was pretty close to home. It would have definitely been a very close play, most likely resulting in Weaver's out at the plate. 2 balls, no strikes to count to Bachman. Men on second and third with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And the 2-0 misses low. That skips to the backstop, and that's going to end the ball game. Weaver comes in, and he scores. And post 22 gets it. They'll take the win 10-2 in 6 innings. And the game took an hour and 40 minutes, exactly 100 minutes for the Hardhats to get their 4th win of the pool play stage. Post 22 ended up getting 10 runs on the power of 12 hits. No errors charged to Regina. And Stevens left on. That ends the ball game. Post 22 will now go 4-0. And their stay in Minnesota depends now on the Rochester Patriots matchup at 1 o'clock local time. Regina will fall to an 0-4 record, while Post 22 still remains the last undefeated team. So here's how the standings look, and here's how the rest of the day's slate will go. Post 22 now at 4-0, still at the top of the bracket. They are followed by the Rochester Patriots, who sit at 2-1, and the Hardhats will take on the Patriots later at 1 o'clock. Chanhassen sits at 2-2. Also, Stillwater at 2-2. The host Burnsville Cobras are at 1-2. and the Regina A's are at 0-4. Following this matchup, the A's will stay put, and they'll take on Chanhassen to follow in the next 30 minutes. After that matchup, that's when the Hardhats will come back here to the Burnsville site, and they will take on Rochester. The Hardhats will bat in the top halves of those 7 innings in that game. Following that matchup, Rochester will take on Burnsville, and then Burnsville will close out against Stillwater in the final game of the day. Now, if Post 22 beats Rochester, there's no debate. The Hardhats will leave this pool at an undefeated